So I've been building a bumper for my Chev pickup there, plate bumper. Maybe one of the few people that's actually watched the video, but just hoping to get it wrapped up here over the weekend. So one of the things I need on it is some mounts to accept shackles or clevises, just for recovery points. So I was looking online. You can get a nice set of pre-made ones out of 3/4 inch steel, 3/4 inch thick steel, for about $50. So I decided to scrounge around and see what I could find. I didn't have any flat plate that was 3/4 of an inch thick, but I had this old chunk of shafting, and wasn't sure what I was going to do with this piece because it's got a keyway cut in it. So what I thought is, okay, I'll just cut some 3/4 inch biscuits off of this, and then I'll just mark it out roughly, but I'm going to square up the edges, and then I'll just drill it's got a center point in it here for when it was on a lathe, but I'll just fill that up with weld, and then I'm going to drill a new 5/8 or 3/4 inch hole there to accept the clevis or shackle. So just going to start put this in my bandsaw and start cutting a couple of 3/4 inch pieces off of it. This is just about 4 inches of round stock to start with, so I'll start by cutting the pieces. Okay, we've got her all in here set up for 3/4 of an inch. Give it a little shot of coolant. Beautiful noise. So the bandsaw made pretty short work of those. Coolant fed bandsaw that works really good for this thicker metal. I've had that one for probably, I'm guessing, 10 years. It's got lots of metal over its time. Just one thing I discovered there is the screens for the coolant are starting to gum up there. I gave it another shot of water to thin it out. It's water-based coolant, but I see it's still a bit gummed up, so it's another thing to look at. So I'm going to put these in the mill next. I'm going to use this existing flat spot on the keyway as an index to cut this square. Start cutting this side. I'll get this side square first, and then I'll use that to square up these other two sides. So the next stop is the milling machine. Okay, so I got her set up in the mill here. Just use the mill to square it up to the vise. It's not too critical anyways. Just basically what I'm after is a straight edge across there eventually. Take off some light cuts, I think, to start with. And turn around. So I don't quite have that keyway centered in there by the sounds of it, so like I said, it's not a big deal. I just want to cut a flat edge across there anyways. So I'll save you the boring details and come back with a squared up piece. Okay, I got these made. This is what I was shooting for. The shackle holder. So tomorrow I'm going to grind these edges down a bit, chamfer them, and weld them onto the bumper. It turned out okay. At least it was stuff I had here, didn't cost me anything, and not quite as fancy as the ones you would buy off the internet, but should be still functional, and like I say, price was right. So next stage, tomorrow morning I'm going to weld those on and build a winch plate, and I've got some 1 3/4 DOM. Going to build up a bit of a, bend up a bit of a hoop for the front, and hoping to get it where I can start painting it tomorrow afternoon or Sunday morning. So I'm just prepping these shackle hangers for mounting to the bumper. I decided to notch out the bumper for them. That way I can weld it on the front, plus I can weld it on the back. There's a piece of 2x2 steel in there, and I can actually weld to the side of that and then weld all around the back of this. Figured that was a good idea. If I was super confident in my welding abilities, I might rely just on the welding on the front, but I think this is a much safer setup, because come to use these, you're going to be trying to yard the whole vehicle out by these 2 points. So got this one notched in. It's going to do the next one here. Then I'll tack weld it for now. Then I'm going to start working on the hoop that the winch plate will mount to. Got some 120 wall 1 3/4 DOM tubing. Going to bend that into a hoop and then weld it across the top, and then back brace it with another couple of pieces of DOM. Got my tubing bender here, ready to go, well, almost ready to go. It's a homemade one. I made that a few years ago. Used to be into a lot of stock car racing, so we built roll cages and stuff like that with it. It works, so it's coming up. So that's the start of the first bend. I've got it right here at 90 degrees. Got to go a bit further. I can't remember exactly what the spring back is, but probably go to about 93 or 94, something like that. So basically this just works off a 20-ton bottle jack. The shoe and mandrel I salvaged from an old electrical bender. And like I say, it works not too bad. It's about due for a rebuild, but future project. So I've just got the faceplate set up in the mill, drilling out the holes for the mounting, and then I'm going to mill out the rectangle where the cable comes through and the fairlead bolts to. Let's get that cut out. I'll tack it into place and then test fit the winch. So I finished welding up the winch, slapped a coat of trusty trim clad spray paint on it, got it mounted on the truck now. Seems to fit the truck fairly well. Next thing I'm going to do is drop the winch on and bolt it in, and then get the winch wired up. I've got to change the controls on the winch and a couple other things. I'm going to stick a separate battery in just for the winch and put an isolator on it, just so if you're out using it you don't wear down your vehicle battery trying to get yourself out of a spot. I think overall it turned out not too bad. Basically just built it mostly with scrap stuff I had laying around, just to keep the cost down. Didn't want to spend a ton of money on it, but any of these plate bumpers you go to buy aftermarket, they cost a ton of money, so I'm not sure what this cost me other than time, probably $100 or something like that. Anyways, all in all, I think it fits the truck okay, and turned out okay.